Hello, Aaron here. I have PDD Autism, Terminus also I'm mentally disabled, I have learning disabilities. I'm first level reading, second level math, and I'm mentally first grader age, also because of medications I take. For my mental disabilities, I have rapid heartbeat, but I take medications for my rapid heartbeat. Also, I have fears of crowds, sad sounds, and yes, when people ask me over their house, I don't know how to respond, and that's hard to reach in. Also, it's hard for me to interact with others. Also, autism is kind of like a brain-delayed factual interaction, and autism makes it a hard process what other people are saying. Also, autism makes it a hard process other people hugging and kissing, and autism makes it a hard process other people holding hands. Also, autism makes for people are anxious when large crowd and loud sounds, and autism makes for people are anxious wearing backpacks. Also, just let know, autism makes for people are anxious at school day, and autism makes for people are anxious on the school bus. Also, autism makes for people are anxious when fire alarms go at school. And autism makes for people are anxious to eat lunch in the school cafeteria. Also, just let know. Also, autism makes for people have a hard time tying shoes and buttoning shirt collars, and just let know. Autism makes for people have learning disabilities that make them first good level at reading and second good level at math. Also, just let know, autism makes for people have mental ages that make them mentally first grader age. Also, just let know, autism makes for people have seizure disorders that make them have seizures. Me and Sarah have seizure disorders, and we had seizures when we were younger. Also, just let know that when people have autism, they're scared to sit in school chair desks, scared to use school lockers, scared to jump off a diving board in the deep end of a pool. Also, they have a hard time swimming, and they have a hard time learning how to ride a two-wheeler bike. Also, just let know that they're scared of changes, and they're scared of entering in a new class on the first day of school. Also, just let know that when people have Tourette syndrome, it's kind of like a neurological disability that gives them movement and sounds called tics that they can't control. Also, OCD gives you excess fears. Also, just let know that I didn't get my high school degree because I dropped out of high school, and I didn't attend my high school graduation. Also, I didn't attend my high school special education graduation. Also, I didn't attend my high school school bus graduations. Also, I didn't attend my high school school dances. Also, just let know that I didn't attend my high school bus field trips. Also, just let know that I didn't attend my high school and middle school pep rallies. Also, just let know that when I was in high school, my high school case manager made it to where I could eat in the school special education classrooms. Also, when I was in high school, my high school case manager made it to where I could get out at 11 o'clock on school days. Also, when I was in high school, my high school case manager made it to where I could stay home until I aged out of high school. And when you're a special needs student in Humble ISD, you age out at 22 years old. And just let know that my high school teachers felt like I wouldn't be able to get a job. Also just let know that the signs of autism are lack of social skills, lack of eye contact, lack of speech, lack of communication. And when people act up in school, that's a sign of autism. Also when people have no grades in school, that's a sign of autism. Also when people stim in school, that's a sign of autism. Also stimming is kind of like hand flapping and hand motion, hand movement and hand fidgeting. And people with autism stim in school classes and stim walking out of school classes. Also just let know that when I was going to Franklin Regional School District, I was in mainstream school classes, learning support classes, and OT classes. Also when I was going to Franklin Regional School District, I was mainstream a lot. Also when I was going to Franklin Regional School District, I threw a fit saying I couldn't do the homework. When I got homework, also just let know. When I was going to Franklin Regional School District, just let know that I was on regular ed school buses. Also when I moved down here to Houston's YSD, I was on special education school buses. I never went out to my mainstream school classes. I stayed in the special education all day. I never got homework, and just let know I got free time in between my school assignments. And just let know I stopped learning how to tie shoes. Please subscribe, rate, and comment.